Okay, now see here. In deduction under chapter 6A, we did 3 sections last time. One was section 80C. What is 80C? If you invest in lump enters, you will get deduction of maximum 1,50,000. Okay, whether you invest in few of these items or all these items, maximum deduction will be 1,50,000. In that, in life insurance premium, there was also one limit, internal limit, that maximum it should be 20% of sum assured. The LIC premium which you pay, it should not be more than 20% of sum assured. Sometimes it is 10%, sometimes it is 15%. But that was one internal limit for life insurance. And overall limit for lump enters is maximum 1,50,000. How to actually do all this in the question? I will take one question now. Then after 80C, what was the next section? 80CCC. But for 80CCC, you have to invest in pension scheme. Even this is an investment, but not an investment which was there in lump enters. This is a different type of investment where you have to invest in LIC or some other insurance company. But this is not a life insurance policy. Life insurance policy is to secure your family in case you die. But this is to secure yourself for your old age. How will you survive in old age? For that there is pension scheme. And here if you invest, you can get deduction of maximum 1,50,000. Then one more deduction was there similar to pension scheme of 80CCC, but that was pension scheme of central government, which is popularly called as NPS, National Pension Scheme. This is the same scheme. The only thing is, this was the product of LIC and other insurance companies. Even central government has got the product of pension scheme. Okay. But if you invest in insurance company's pension scheme, the limit was 1,50,000. But if you invest in central government's pension scheme, the limit is like this. For salaried employee, 10% of basic plus DA in terms, and for others, maximum 20% of gross total income. Okay, now, if anyone has invested in 80C also, 80CCC also, and 80CCD1 also, so all the 3 sections cannot give you more than 1,50,000 deduction. There is one limit of all the sections taken together. Because see, what law says, you know, even 80C is investment linked deduction. 80CCC is also investment linked. Only thing is 80CCC has a different investment of pension scheme of LIC, other insurance company. And even 80CCD1 is investment linked. But this is pension scheme of central government. But what law feels for us, all are one and the same. So if someone wants 80C, 80CCC, 80CCD1, you take all. But all the 3 sections will not give you more than 1,50,000. There is an overall ceiling. What do you mean by ceiling? The word ceiling means limit. There is an overall ceiling or a cap. What do you mean by the word cap? Cap means limit, not that cap. So when I say there is an overall ceiling, a cap, it means there is an overall limit. Overall means of all the 3 sections taken together. Yes, if there is only 80C in the question, 1,50,000. If there is only 80CCC, 1,50,000. If there is only 80CCD1, 10% of basic or 20% of gross total income, depending upon salaried or non-salaried. But if all the 3 sections come together in one question, total of that cannot be more than 1,50,000. That's why, you know, see how I have done. These sections, although 3 sections, but I treat them as one unit. Even government treats these 3 sections as one single unit. Why? Because combined deduction of all 3 should not exceed 1,50,000. Okay. So see, in short, you know what you have to remember? Individual limit of 80C is 1,50,000. Individual limit of CCC 1,50,000. Individual limit of 80CCD1, 10% of salary or 20% of gross total income, depending upon whether you are salaried or not. That is individual limit. But if all these three sections come together in one question, so there is a overall limit of 1,50,000. This is a new point which I am saying today. And why I am stressing because sometimes in your sleep you will feel 1,50,000 sir has taught us. That 1,50,000 is different. Last lecture what I taught was individual 1,50,000 of ATC, individual 1,50,000 80CCC. Right now what I am saying, if you want all three sections together, there is a overall limit of 1,50,000. So how to do all this in a question? It's better that we immediately take one question. And for that, see, there is one question already drafted by me, an extra question. In this question, you will understand how to solve ATC, triple C, CCD1 together in one question. Okay, now look here, look. See, this is a question. Wait. Tell me how they will test the knowledge of deduction under chapter 6A. What is the name of the topic I have started? Name the topic. Don't say deduction. Deduction under chapter 6A. Okay. Now to create a question on deduction under chapter 6A, they will always ask this thing. Net taxable income. Because see, chapter 6A questions cannot be independently created. Calculate ATC, calculate ATCCC. See, these are deductions. So deduction has to be deducted. So deducted from what? Gross total income. Tell me what are the 5 heads? Salary, house property, business, capital gains, income from other source. So these are the 5 heads. So you will have to calculate all 5 heads. And then you have to minus deduction. And then what you get at the end is called net taxable income. So in the question they will always ask you net taxable income. Yes, you will wonder that sir, for net taxable income we should have knowledge of all 5 heads. But till now you have taught us only salary and income from other source. But that's okay. I have customized my question in such a way that in our question you will find only salary and other sources. And then these deductions. So we will be able to solve because I have customized the question. See, if I go as per institute's question, it will be very difficult for you to make you understand. Means thing which I can make you understand in 5 minutes, I will have to take 15 minutes. So that's why, I have customized my own question, but the points are the type of point which usually comes in exam. But my customization so that I can handle with only salary, income from other source, deduction, and I can give you the practice of the sums. So see, in this question, wait. First do one thing. First you have to underline this thing. What is asked? Always they will ask net taxable income in the question, okay? Now read. See, these questions we cannot directly start solving. In salary and income from others, so how we used to do? We used to keep the statement ready. We used to directly solve. Because it was just one head of income. But in these questions, what you will find? One head or all mixed? All mixed. So it is better to read the whole sum once. So see, first item is what? Income from house property. Since I have not explained this chapter, I have given the ready-made amount. See, the chapters which I have not explained, I will give you the ready-made amount. But the chapters which I explained like salary, income from other source, I will give you detailed figures so that you have to calculate also. So this is income from house property. So you can write there with pencil, IFHP. This will go to income from house property. Then income from business. Even this figure is given ready-made. So there we can write with pencil income from business. Then what about interest on 5 years potted account? Many students what mistake they do? Potted account ATC. Then what did I say? Don't see the investment. See the word besides the investment item. So what is the word here? Interest. So this is income. And it is which income? Income from other source. And in income from other source, whenever interest income, you have to search in GPS. And it doesn't fall in GPS, so fully taxable. So see what I have written here. Income from other sources. And there it will be fully taxable. Then what about NSC interest? Firstly, it is interest. So first it is an income item. Are you feeling income? So it is income from other source. And in GPS it doesn't fall. So it is fully taxable. So you will take it taxable, but later on it can be deducted in 80C also. Last lecture I had explained that in case of NSE, when you invest, you get deduction. For interest also, you get deduction. But interest first you have to include, then you have to deduct. Double effect, include and deduct. So this is interest. So include and deduct. See how I have written here. I will take in EFOS also and ATC also. Double effect will come. Okay, tell me, what if it was investment in NSE? Then only ATC. If it is investment, then only ATC. If it is interest, then double effect. EFOS as well as ATC. Okay. See, this way, so many things you will learn. But you will be very confident if you keep revising every lecture. Because see, individually explaining you is not a big deal. I can take efforts to explain the thing at that moment. But you have to remember forever till exam day. If you forget after explaining, then what is the point? And you will forget because you see so many things you have to yet study. For 50 marks of direct tax only. 50 marks. But the syllabus is lot. Then what about deposit in PPF? Tell me, should I only see PPF or I should focus on the word deposit? Deposit. So is it income or money going out? So ATC. See, if it is income, then you put in 5 heads. Okay. But deposit means it is not income, your money is going out. So it will come in ATC. Then purchase of NSC. Is it income? I am focusing on the word purchase. Purchase of NSC means is it income or money is going out? So it is ATC. Only ATC. Life insurance premium paid. Paid means is it income or money is going out? So why I am asking all this again? Because see, if it is income, then it will come in 5 heads. But if your money is going out, then you have to think about deductions. Correct? So this is also again paid. So this will come in ATC. See, I have written here ATC. But whose life insurance you have paid? For himself and for son. Wait, he has paid for himself as well as son. Is life insurance premium of son allowed? Yes. For this, what did I explain? There are 3 items in lump and TERS where deduction is allowed for 3 people. 3 items, 3 people. 3 items, 3 people. What were the 3 items in lump and TERS? LIC premium, ULIP and PPF. In these 3 items, investment can be done for 3 people. Himself, spouse and children. So this life insurance is one of those 3 items. Life insurance, ULIP and PPF. So life insurance is one of them. So here it is assessee, spouse and children. So himself means assessee. Son means children. So it is allowed. But then there is a limit. Wait, sum assured is given. But what is the confusion going in the mind? Should I take 20% of sum assured, 15% or 10%? 15% is only for handicapped and people from disease. Is this the question of handicapped or suffering from disease? No. So 15% is ruled out. So we have got only 2 choices, 20 or 10. And that depends upon what? That depends upon what? Tell me, wait, I will have to show you, I don't trust you. You have to see when the policy was taken. If it is before 1st April 2012, I will take 20%. Otherwise, I will take 10%. So tell me, when is the policy date? Not given, so always assume the policy is after 2012. Because 2012 is a very old year. We are in 24. We are in 24, so 2012 is not just a recent year, it is very old year. So nothing is given, so logical assumption would be what? That policy is taken after 2012. And after 2012, what is the limit? 10% of sum assured. So try and tell me. Calculate 10% of sum assured for his own policy. Calculate 10% of sum assured. So 2,40,000, 10% is 24,000. Compare with actual premium, whichever is less. So 22,000. See, whenever there is a limit, you can make a formula whichever is less. And actually there is not a need of formula. You can apply common sense that up till 24,000 is okay. So I am paying only 22,000. So it is less. And less is allowed. Limit means not more than that. Less is allowed. So I will take 22,000. So I will do one thing. I will put a tick mark on 22,000. Wait. But what about son's policy? Sum assured is 1 lakh. 10% of that comes to 10,000. And actual premium 15,000. Whichever is less? 10,000. So 15,000 will not be allowed because it is crossing the limit. 10,000 which I calculate is a limit. And limit means it cannot be more than that. So what I will do, I will just, all this I am doing with pencil. Means like a student should be doing all this with pencil. So cancel 15, take only 10. 15 is 2,000, sorry, 15,000 is too much. As per the limit, it should be maximum 10% of sum assured, which comes to 10,000. You can make whichever is less. Then last point, contribution to pension scheme of LIC. See, whenever you see pension scheme, what will you check? Is it of insurance company or central government? If it is central government, then 80 CCD 1. If it is insurance company, then 80 triple C. Here it is LIC, insurance company. That's why 80 triple C. See what I have written, 80 triple C. Okay. So these markings we have done. Now let us start solving. What should be the answer? In the statement, what you will write? No, you have to write. What is the name of the answer? Statement of total income. See, in chapter 6A, you have to add all 5 heads. Then chapter 6A. And when all the 5 heads are added, it becomes a total income. Wait, listen to one thing. Look, there is a craze of total income questions. Once you are used to CA Inter, you will realize there is a different craze for total income question, and my target was to take you to total income question as early as possible. That's why I took immediately chapter 6A. Because total income question, people are crazy means because these are the type of question they ask in exam. They will not ask salary alone. They will ask total income. So in the question of salary also, they will put some items of chapter 6A. But see, total income is all 5 heads. In one sum, they don't put all 5 heads together. People are not listening or ignoring me. Total income is 5 heads. But in one question, they never put all 5 heads together. You know what is their policy? In one question, they will put maximum 2 heads. Institute has not promised. This is based on the past papers trend. That usually in one question, they will put two heads or at the most three heads. All five heads, if they put together in one question, question will become very lengthy. Okay. And we have also done with two heads. Two heads with chapter 6a, it is a common combination in exam questions. Okay, ready with the statement, keep the statement ready. Particulars and then two amount columns. Inner column and outer column. Okay, now see again one point. I know many students will not listen to this interestingly, but this will make so many blunders. You know, many students what they do, they start from here. Where to write this, where to write this, where to write this. Don't go as per sum, go as per system. And our system in total income question is what you know, go headwise. Search all five heads religiously. Then chapter 6, go as per the format. See, if you go as per the sum is messy. Suddenly ATC comes, then income from business, it will be given in meshed form. But don't go as per the sum, go as per the system. So our system over here is go as per head wise. So what is the first head of income? Income from salary. See my mind how it is working. Income from salary, do I have in the question? No. So ignore it. If you want, you can put a dash also. See here. Dash. In exam, it is not needed to write. But why I am writing purposely? Because I want to convey that go headwise. If not there, put it dash. Then what is the next head of income? House property. So let me check in the question. Do we have income from house property? Yes, we have. And we have a ready-made answer. If not ready-made, then we will prepare a working note. But for house property, I will have to give a ready-made answer because I have not yet taught this topic. So ready-made answer. 4 lakhs. See the method, I am not going as per the sum, I am going as per format. What is the next head? Business. Check, do we have income from business? Yes, we got here, see income from business. So write it. In exam, if the amount is not given, you will have to prepare a working note. But here I have given ready-made answer because we have not yet studied this chapter, income from business. Then what is the next head? Capital gains. Check in the question. Do we have any capital gain item? I know it's not there, but I am doing that acting to make you really, you should check. Not there, so nil. Then what is the next head? Income from other source. Do we have income from other source? Okay, do we have one final ready-made answer or multiple items? Multiple. See, income from other source, income from other source. There are two items. So, if you want, you can directly also write here, or it's better you prepare a different statement. So, prepare a different statement. See, shortcut you can always use, but I want to give you a long cut and a proper method. See, in this question, there are only two items of income from other source. But who knows, in exam, they give you 5-6 items then. Family, pension, blah, 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 income of minor children. Forgot income from other source. They can give multiple items also. So, it is better to prepare a working note. So, see what I have done. I have left this page. Means one full page you have to leave. But my pages are small. So, I have left one more page. See. And then income from other source as note number 1. From your book size, you can leave that whole page. Take a fresh page and prepare a separate statement. Statement of income from other sources. For each head of income, you have to prepare a separate statement. So tell me now what you have in income from other sources. Do one thing. In the question, I want that you circle this interest. So we have got two interest items. One is 5 years spotted account, other is NSE. Both are not falling in GPS. GPS was a keyword in income from other sources for interest income. So not in GPS, so fully taxable. Interest on 5 years spotted account. What is spotted account? Post office time deposit account. Then interest on NSE. Two things are there. See, interest on NSE, consider this as very important because after taking it in income from other source, you will also take it in deduction. Till now, how many such items have come? Tell me. Top also, bottom also, top also, bottom also. Entertainment allowance was there. In case of government employee, first we include it. Then you minus as per the formula. Profession tax paid by employer. Profession tax paid by employer. If profession tax paid by employer is given, so first you include in top and then minus in bottom. Even interest on NSC, first you include in income from other source and then you minus also. See, this way you try to memorize the items which you do, include also and then less also. So what is the total of income from other sources? 15,500. Taxable income from other sources. Done. So income from other sources in the main statement. See how I have written. Income from other sources in bracket note 1. Amount is 15,500. Now can you tell me what is the total of 5 heads of income called? Gross total income. So write this way with red pen. In exam you don't have to use red pen. This is just for decorating your notes properly. Gross total income. And then less deduction under chapter 6A. How will you write 6A? Roman 6. Okay, now tell me how many sections I have taught in this chapter? 3. ATC, triple C, CCD 1. But please do not consider this as 3 sections. While solving, you will treat it like 1 unit only. See, that's why I have shown like this. This is 1 unit. Yes, all other sections will be solved independently. But whenever these three sections are coming, although three sections, but you will have to treat it like one unit. So you know what I will do? I will write these three sections together as heading, and all the items which are there in the question from ATC, triple C, CCD1, I will make a list, and then I will total up the list. I will see to that it should not be more than 1,50,000. And see, whenever there is a limit, you can make a formula whichever is less. So total of the list 1,50,000, whichever is less. But in the list, you will write what? Lump enters, then 80 triple C pension scheme of LIC insurance company, 80 CCD1, everything will come in one common list. But total of list you will compare is 1,50,000, whichever is less. Okay. Because that 1,50,000 is overall limit for all three sections together. So see how I have done. I have given a common heading. See, different sections, different heading. But for these three sections, common heading. After these three sections, the other section which I take, all will be solved independently like a separate section. But our income tax department treats these three sections as one and the same. Some students wonder, sir, what was the need of making a different section also then? What is given in 80 triple C, what is given in 80 CCD1 could have been included in 80C only. When for all three sections taken together, they are not giving more than 1,50,000, so they should have put everything in one section only. But see, law doesn't go in a planned manner. Long back, there was only one section. Then a separate section was launched, 80 triple C. So different section had come at a different time. But then government wants to say, see, we have opened different options. See, earlier this option was not there long back. Which option? Triple C means what? Investing in pension scheme of LIC, other insurance company. That option was not there. So government wanted to give that as an option. You can invest here also. So they created a different section. But then later on government realized, after all, these are all investments only. Whether you invest in lump enters or pension scheme of LIC insurance company or pension scheme of central government, all are investments for yourself. So we will treat all as one and the same. So overall limit will be 1,50,000. So for a student it sounds funny, but you know why it happens? Because law is not planned in one day. Law gradually is created. Every year there is a budget, every year their mind changes. Okay. So that's why sometimes you will find some funny things in the law. But we can't change the law, we have to accept the law. So funny thing was what? Since the limit is only one, they should have kept everything in one section. But law doesn't plan everything in advance. Law becomes gradually, it evolves. Okay. Anyways, now what to do under this? Now see, count how many items we have. Look here in the question. Count 80C, 80 triple C, CCD1 in the sum. Help me count. Do we have 80C, 80C? Yeah. This was 180C. Then one more. Then one more. Then one more. Here in fact there are two. Then this. So all this will come in one common list. And then total of the list compare with 1,50,000, whichever is less. Okay. But in the list, you have to take care of the internal limits. Tell me where you have internal limits in the list? Life insurance premium, not more than 10% of sum assured. Remember? Or 20% sometime, 15% sometime. Even 80 CCD1, 10% of basic plus DA in terms. And not a salaried person, then 20% GTI. That internal limit you have to keep in mind and make a list. So while preparing the list, use internal limits. And when the list is prepared, total up and compare with overall limit of 1,50,000. But while preparing the list, you will prepare the list as per internal limits. And internal limits is not there everywhere. Yes, in tuition fees there is a limit, maximum 2 children only. LIC premium there is a limit, maximum 10% sum assured. ATCC D1 there is a limit, 10% of basic plus DA. So those limits you will keep in mind while preparing the list. But once the list is prepared, the overall total should not be more than 1,50,000. So start one by one. Do one thing first. Have you written this? So tell me, what is the first item in order? Interest accrued on NSC. How much? 8,000. Go in the order of the sum now. Wait, I have written little up and down. Order is not important, that's okay. I have written deposit in PPF first. See this. Deposit in PPF was also there. You can write in the order of the question also. Deposit in PPF 25,000, purchase of NSC 60,000. Regarding 1,50,000, you don't worry right now. Total will take care. Right now, while preparing the list, you should take care of internal limits. But for that overall limit of 1,50,000, don't worry. We will take care of that while totaling. I hope you are writing all in the inner column. So 3 things we have written: deposit in PPF, NSC purchase, interest on NSC. Means we have recorded these 3 items. Then what else we have? But life insurance premium, we have got 2 life insurance premium. For himself, how much you will take? 22,000. And for son, it was 15,000, but we can't take 15,000. It is crossing the limit of 10% of sum assured, which is 10,000 only. So you will take 10,000 only. So see how I have written here. You can also show like this. First write the life insurance premium of himself. In the question 22,000 was given and I have written full 22,000 because it is within the limit. But you have to show your knowledge. How will you show your knowledge? By writing in the bracket. Maximum 10% of 2,40,000 sum assured. Actually that came to 24,000, but that is maximum. In Hindi what we say, कम हो तो कम लो, ज़्यादा हो तो लिमिट में रहो. If it is less, take less. So here it was less, 22,000, so take less. But if it would have been 29,000, 35,000, then I would have taken only 24,000, which is the limit in this case. Then life insurance premium of son. See, I have purposely written 15,000. You can also write with pencil this 15,000, then cancel it. Exam it is not required. This is just for your understanding. When you study for exam, you have to see all these sums, right? So you have to explain, see, it was 15,000, but I can't take 15,000 because it is crossing the limit. So cancel 15 and stay in limit. Limit is 10,000. Then see, we have given the effect of this. Now only last thing is remaining. See, 80CCC, although it is a different section, but we will write differently or same list. We will write it in the same list. 3 sections will come in a same list. C triple C CCD 1. So 35,000 as it is. See, in 80 triple C there was a limit of 1 lakh 50. But regarding 1 lakh 50, you don't worry. Our overall list total will be restricted to 1 lakh 50 only. See, where some awkward limits are there, like in life insurance, 10% of sum assured, that you have to take care while preparing the list only. But for 1 lakh 50, you don't worry. Our total will be restricted to 1 lakh 50 only. So 35,000 you have transferred. Now what to do? We have written all items. Total up all in the inner column only. Add all amounts. What all we have? PPF, purchase of NSC, interest on NSC. This is there, this is there, this is there. Total of all. So see what I have written. Actual amount. One lakh 60,000. This we can call it as actual amount. Mean this is the actual amount invested by us. And what is the maximum limit? 1 lakh 50,000. Then whichever this arrow means whichever is less. See, whenever there is a limit, we can make a formula whichever is less. And after this, we have to take other sections. But other section I have not taught. So not given in the question. So sum is over. What is the final answer called? Net taxable income. This 1 lakh 50,000, you are deducting from what? Gross total income. Your gross total income was 7 lakh 15,500. From that you deduct 1 lakh 50,000. So the resulting figure is 565,500 net taxable income. What happens with this in real life? On this we calculate tax at the rate of some percentage. And my next chapter will be that only. After this chapter 6 is over, my next topic will be how to calculate tax on this answer. What are the percentages? That chapter is also very important. Done this thing. So this was a question to explain what? That how to solve ATC triple C CCD 1. So most important was, will you solve separate or together? Together. Make a list, combine all the amounts, compare with 1 lakh 50, whichever is less. But while preparing the list, you have to take care of internal limits like tuition fees of maximum 2 children, life insurance paid, 10% of sum assured, all that you have to keep in mind. And then make the list total up, compare with 1 lakh 50,000. Now we can take another section. See, check the summary. For all these sections I had given the summary at the beginning of the topic only. So right now we are doing which deductions? Investment related. Okay. So 3 sections we have done. Next in order is what? Read. 80 CCD 1B. This is what? Pension scheme of central government. Same thing for which section 80 CCD 1 was there. For this same thing there is one more section. 80 CCD 1B. You know what this section says? If you invest in pension scheme of central government, you will get deduction under 80 CCD 1. Plus you will get extra 50,000 deduction. And that extra 50,000 is under section 80 CCD 1B. You know, basically what central government wants, central government is competing with insurance company. Imagine there are two shops. Insurance company is also selling the product of pension scheme. Central government is also selling the product of pension scheme. But you know, central government is very smart. They want that customer should come to central government. That's why you know what they are saying. See, if you go to pension scheme of LIC or other insurance company, so you will get 80CCC, and that overall gets restricted to 1,50,000. But if you come to central government's pension scheme, you will get deduction under 80CCD1, plus you will also get extra 50,000 deduction. And this 50,000 is fixed amount. 50,000 is a fixed amount. But if you invest in not insurance company's pension scheme of central government, which is popularly called as NPS, National Pension Scheme. See, student will have a doubt that only, that why again it is coming, just to attract people to come to central government and don't go to insurance company. Did you understand what is the difference? If I go to insurance company, my deduction will be overall 1,50,000 only. But if I invest in central government pension scheme, I can get 1,50,000 also, plus extra 50,000. Yes, in this, if I want to go, there is a limit of 10% of basic plus DA, or 20% of gross total income, depending upon you are salaried or not salaried. But whatever, along with that, you are getting extra deduction of 50,000 in 80CCD 1B. So see, section 80CCD 1B is for the same item for which we already studied 80CCD 1. You didn't feel the section number CCD. That was also CCD. This is also CCD. But that is 1 means the main section. And this is 1B is the extra section giving extra deduction. 50,000. Tell me, while solving, will you mix this in the common list of CCCC CCD1 or keep it separate? Keep it separate. Okay. But then you know, while solving the sum, you have to be little careful. I'll tell you how it will affect the solution. Wait. Try this question. Okay, try this. Last question, yeah. Don't focus here, just see this. Try this. Contribution to NPS. It is the same thing for which we are studying section 80CCD 1B, and in the last lecture 80CCD 1. CCD is for NPS. So first, looking at NPS, CCD should strike to you. But tell me, you have total how much investment? 1 lakh. So give me the effect of this now. How will you deal with 1 lakh? It will have effect in 80CCD 1B also, and it will also have effect in 80CCD 1. But you know, you should give first priority to CCD 1B, because that is giving you extra 50,000. See, why CCD 1 is my second choice? Because CCD 1 is giving me that 1,50,000. And for that 1,50,000, there are many candidates. Lump, pen, TERS, pension scheme of LIC also. So for that 1,50,000, there are many candidates who can help me. But that extra 50,000, I can get only in CCD 1B. So CCD 1B should be your first choice. So tell me, we have got 1 lakh. So from this 50,000 is used. 50,000 used in 80 CCD 1B. Now what is left? 50,000. This I want to put in the list. Which list? The sum I solved right now. C triple C CCD 1 list. C triple C CCD 1 list. So what is remaining? 50,000. This 50,000, the below one, I want to put it in the list. But in the list I cannot take as it is. I have to limit as per the formula of 10% of basic plus DA in terms. So use that. 10% of basic. Why I am not thinking about 20% of gross today income? That is for non-salaried people. He is salaried. So 10% of basic plus DA in terms. This is which limit I am talking about? In 80 CCD 1. So tell me the effect of this will be. See what I am doing first in 80 CCD 1B. I will take how much? Correct. And then 80 CCD 1. What is the remaining amount? 1 lakh minus. No, find out the remaining amount. 50. First, I will respect the remaining amount as it is. Now, I have to respect the limit. Limit of 80. This limit, you remember which limit I am talking about? This one, see. I don't trust you, I will have to show you. Salaried people, this is the limit. 10% of basic plus DA in terms. So go as per that. So 10% of basic. What is the basic? 40,000 is per month. So into 12, 4,80,000. DA is not there in the question. Huh? So 10% how much? 48,000. So see, although I have got 50,000 remaining, but then I will have to restrict to 48,000. And then in the answer, what you will do? This you will write as a separate section, separate entry. And this 48,000 will come in the common list of ATC, Triple C, CCD 1. You prepared a list or not? C, Triple C, CCD 1. So in that list, you will take how much? 50,000 or 48? See this, while solving the previous question, I repeatedly told you, while preparing the list, don't worry about 1,50,000. But while preparing the list, worry about the internal limits. So for 80 CCD 1, there is an internal limit of 10% of basic plus DA. So I have taken care of that, and that's why I took 48,000. So in the list of those three sections, I will include only 48,000. But 48,000 is just one item. In the list, what comes? Lump, penters, blah, 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 so many things. Overall list total should not be more than 1,50,000. But this will come in that list or separate item. Separate item. Okay. So 80 CCD 1B is done. Then after this there is one more section, one more CCD. 80 CCD 2. That is, if in your pension scheme, boss is also contributing. First, let us make an atmosphere here. Imagine I am your boss and you are my employee. First, tell me why a salaried person is investing in pension scheme. Because his boss has not promised him pension. Imagine I am your boss and you are my employee. I told you first only, see, as long as you work under me, I will give you good salary. Huh? But after retirement, please don't expect pension from me. If you are worried about your old age, you do some setting for yourself. So there are such bosses, right? So imagine employee what he did, because he was worried about his old age. He invested in NPS. Okay, but boss felt guilty. Oh, just because I have not promised pension to you, you have arranged pension for yourself by investing in NPS. So what boss said, okay, I'll do one thing. In the actually, where do you open NPS account only? You can go to any bank. State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank. You can go to any nationalized bank. You can go there and say, I want to open an NPS account. Like my NPS account is in State Bank of India. My State Bank of India is in my lane only, in my gully only. So I have opened NPS account in State Bank of India. So imagine employee might have gone to some bank, he has started investing in NPS. But that is his own contribution. But boss also felt guilty that my poor employees, because I have not promised them pension, they have to do something for their old age. So what boss said, I will also contribute for you. So employee felt nice. And boss said, I will contribute 1 lakh for you. So when boss contributes for you, it becomes a benefit. You will have to include it in your income from salary first. And that also you can minus under 80 CCD too. When boss contributes for you, boss, first are you feeling happy or not? What will you feel that my boss is contributing for me and it is for my old age it's happening? So if your employer contributes in, where is contributing? NPS, National Pension Scheme. So first you will feel benefit. So include in statement of income from salary, and that also you can minus. But 10% of basic plus DA in terms. But if you are a government employee, 14% of basic plus DA in terms. This is 80 CCD2. If you are a normal employee, 10% of basic plus DA in terms. If you are a government employee, 14% of basic plus DA in terms. But this is when your employer is contributing in your account. Imagine you also opened your NPS account in State Bank of India. And in your State Bank of India, I also contribute on timely basis. So it is a good feeling for you. So first include the good feeling in salary. And in salary you have to include full. But in chapter 6 say there is a limit of 10% or 14% if you are a government employee. So this is one more item where the effect is up also, down also, up also, down also, up also, down also. Up where? In the salary statement. What will be the wordings? Employer's contribution to NPS. And when employer contribute, it is a benefit. And here what amount you will write? Actual amount. Here there is no limit while you are including. But in chapter 6A under which section? 80 CCD bracket 2. There you will minus up to a limit. Depending upon you are working where? You are working in government sector, then 14% of basic plus DA in terms. You are not working in government, then 10% of basic plus DA in terms. So try this question. Here what has happened? Look. Here your employer has contributed. See? So please tell me the effect of this. One effect or two effects? So this is also an item like up also, down also. Okay. So first in the salary statement, how much you will take? Full 60,000. See, while preparing the salary statement, include full amount. But in chapter 6A, you will take how much? You have to check whether he is government employee or other. Is Roy a government employee? No, not given. Nothing is given means non-government. Then I will not take 14%. I will take 10%. of basic plus DA in terms. In this question there is only basic. So what I will do? 4,80,000, 10% that is 48,000. So in your main salary statement you will include 60,000 and under chapter 6A CCD 2 48,000. So what was all this? These were different CCDs. There are 3 CCDs. CCD, CCD, CCD. CCD1, CCD1B, CCD2. CCD2 is when your boss contributes. And when you yourself contribute, there are 2 CCDs. 1 and 1B, 1 and 1B. And 1 goes in the list of C, triple C, CCD1. 1B is a separate identity, 50,000. Even CCD2 is separate. See what I have explained after this section. I explained this thing. Read what I have written. Employer's contribution to NPS. See, you will feel again and again NPS is coming. See, section is also one. It is A, T, C, C, D. But it has got 3 breakup. CCD1, CCD1B. And I am joining this together because this is your personal investment. Your own investment. And CCD2, it is when your boss contributes. And it is not necessary that your boss will contribute. He may or may not. If he, then include in salary, then deduct in CCD2. And how much to deduct in CCD2?
10% of base plus DA in
And what do you mean by this? First include, then deduction. Means first include in the salary statement, then deduct here as a separate item. And have you noticed this I have written like one unit. This is a separate item. This is a separate item. One more thing. See here. This is NPS, but this is employer's contribution or own. See, I have written your own. This is your own deposit in NPS. And in the previous section, what was CCD1? CCD1 is your own investment. 1B, own investment. 2, employer's investment for you, which is first included in salary, then deducted under chapter 6A. So how many C's we did, you know? C, single C, triple C, CCD1. See how I have written. Why this a joint? C, triple C, CCD1 is one unit. Okay. Then CCD1B, CCD2. These two will come separately. What is the limit for CCD1B? 50,000. 50,000. And that will come only in deduction. And CCD2 it is employers. So first include in salary, then deduction. 10% of basic plus DA in terms or 14% if government employee. Okay. So this is independent section. This is independent section. These two sections I taught today fresh. These 3 sections were last lecture explanation for which I took some. And for this you prepare one common list. Total of that 1,50,000. But this is separate, this is separate. Okay. So in the family of C's, how many C's are done? This and this 5. Still there are 2 more C's. CCH1, CCH2. But have you seen that I have written as a separate item? Because even this will not be merged anywhere, independent deduction. But see, to explain these 2 things, I will have to explain one concept called Agniveer scheme. Agniveer scheme. See here. Wait, before I go to that, wait, there is something called Agniveer scheme for which there is ATCCH and CCH1 and 2. But wait, before that, look. Just read. This is nothing new, it is the same thing. I mean, this is the instruction while solving the sum. First take CCD1B. What is that? Maximum 50,000, for your own contribution to NPS. These instructions you should follow while solving the sum. So in this sum, always first take, see that is what I did here, see what I did. I took 50,000 first. Then this 50,000 was balancing. But that I restricted to 10% of basic plus DA. But first I have to take 80 CCD 1B. So that's what I have written here. First take 80 CCD 1B. And that is independent 50,000. Then take CCD 2 because even that is independent section. How much? 10 or 14% of basic plus DA. But that is for employers' contribution. See, this is for own contribution. This is for employers. And then that common list. C, triple C, CCD 1. But see, CCD 1, how I written? Balance contribution. What is this balance? See what I did. Out of 1 lakh, I took 50,000 in CCD 1B. Then what was this 50? This was balance. That's what I have written here. See, balance. Then this balance of own contribution. And I had done that only. Out of 1 lakh, that was employees' own contribution and this was balance. But this should be restricted to 10% of basic plus DA. But see, for your own contribution, if a person is not salaried, then instead of 10% of basic plus DA, it will be 20% of gross total income. See, here it was not, here it was always based on salary, not gross total income. Why? Because this was employer's contribution. The word employer suits only if you are salaried. Non-salaried will never have employer. Like I am not a salaried person, I don't have any boss. So this employer's contribution means what? It is for salaried people only. But here it was 10 or 14%. Okay. So I had this thing properly. See, here I have not written that 20%, but 20% also applies if he is not a salaried person. So without looking, you tell me first what you will do. Don't look here. First 80 CCD 1B you should finish. Take 50,000. And once you take 50,000, don't forget that here you will get only balance. Because in the question like we had 1 lakh. And once I finish 50,000, then forget 50,000. I am left with only balance 50. But that also you have to limit to 10% of basic plus DA if salaried, not salaried then 20% of GTI, gross total income. So first take 80 CCD 1B, okay, then take CCD 2, but this will come double. First it will come in salary full amount and it will come in deduction also. In deduction it will be either 10 or 14% depending upon government employee, then 14, others 10 of basic plus DA. Okay. And then our common list, one jumbo list where you will put ATC, triple C, CCD1, everything. But in that list, when you put AT CCD1, you will take only balance because you already used 50,000 in CCD1B. So here only balance will come. Okay. And this overall will be restricted to 1,50,000. Anyways, we will solve these questions like this also. But right now, let me come to the new thing. See here. There is something called Agniveer scheme. See, in 2022, Narendra Modi had announced one scheme which is called Agnipath scheme. Agnipath or Agniveer, it's one and the same. I am not mistaken by using the name of a Bollywood movie. It is also called Agnipath scheme. It is also called Agniveer scheme. You know, under this scheme what happens? A person who is of the age of 17 and a half years but not more than 21 years. Means you should be in the age of 17.5 to 21 years of age. Means this is a scheme for youth. Youth means age 17.5 to 21. These people are given an option to enroll in Indian Army. You have an option to enroll in Indian Army, and once you are selected there, you have to give exam also. You have to be 12th pass. After that, there is some entrance exam for Agnipath scheme. And assume you pass the exam after that 12th. Then you will get entry in Indian Army for 4 years. But in that 4 years Indian Army service, you will not have to go to border to fight the war. You will have to simply work under Indian Army, and you will get full training of military. Full training. And in 4 years you will be so disciplined and trained like a military employee, but you are safe also. Like normally people of armed forces, they are always in danger. Suddenly if there is a war, they might die also. But these young people who are joining Indian Army for a period of 4 years, 4 years is fixed, huh? They will be enrolled under this scheme for fixed 4 years. And 4 years they will have to work in Indian Army. They will get good salary also. Roundabout they get every month 30,000. At present this is a salary. Salary can change. You don't have to remember the amount, just for your knowledge. Every month roundabout they get 30,000 salary. 4 years continuous job in Indian Army, and you will get full training of Indian Army. And you know, in armed forces you get very strict and disciplined training. And after 4 years you will have a choice whether you want to enroll as full-time army employee or you want to leave army. You have a choice, but see, even if you choose I want to join Indian Army, they should also select. Even they have not committed, they will see 4 years performance, and in 4 years they feel this person is a good candidate for India's defense. They may select you, but then it should be your choice also. For example, that person says, no, I worked for Indian Army in 4 years, I like the culture over here, but I want to go back to my normal life. Then you can go back. Or if you are interested, you can join, but they should select also. But after 4 years, there is a fresh choice whether you want to become a permanent employee of Indian Armed Forces or you want to leave. And you know, both are advantageous. See, if you want to join Indian Army, it is your wish. That's why you're joining. And even if you don't join, when you come to normal life, if you apply for a job in a company, your biodata, your CV, your resume will have 4 years work experience in Indian Army, and Indian Army work experience means they will salute you because you have got strict training in Indian Army. So you will have better prospects in selection of a job. But all that will happen after 4 years. But till 4 years you are in Agniveer scheme. So tell me, what did I explain? A person of the age of 17.5 to 21 years, he has an option to apply in Indian Army. And assume if he is selected, he will work there for 4 years and his job will be safe, that he will not have to go on border to fight the war. But he will work in Indian Army like a normal employee, he will get full training, he will get salary also. After 4 years, you have a choice whether to join full-time Indian Army or to leave. Whether you join or you leave, you have gained a lot in 4 years. Apart from salary, you have got good training and discipline in military structure. Okay. Now the main point is, in income tax, what is the treatment of your 4 years income? You know, in 4 years what you have got? Salary. So look, whatever salary you have got for 4 years, that will be taxable. Just like you are a normal employee, so what you are working in Indian Army? Even employees of Indian Army, what salary they earn, it will be taxable. So salary will be taxable. But you know, in this 4 years, they create a corpus fund, which is called Agniveer Corpus Fund, which is as good as a provident fund only. Only thing is, when do we use a word provident fund? When you are on a full-time job. But this is a full-time job or short-term job? Short-term job of 4 years. So kind of provident fund, there is something called Agniveer Corpus Fund. And just as in provident fund, what happens? Some amount is deducted from your salary and deposited in provident fund. Some amount employer will also deposit. Here also this will happen. What? Some amount will be deducted from salary and deposited in Agniveer Corpus Fund. And your employer, here your employer will be government only. They will also deposit some amount for you. And in this 4 years, whatever amount is accumulated, it will be given to you when you return back to your normal life. Like provident fund, the way you encash lump sum amount, here also you can encash a lump sum amount after 4 years. But you know the treatment, look here. Employees contribution you will ignore in statement of salary, but you will get 80 CCH1 deduction for that. Employees contribution, are you noticing? Employee means the one which is deducted from your salary. In the statement of salary you ignore it. Why? Because it is deducted from your basic salary, and basic salary anyways we write net or gross? Gross. So in salary the effect will not come because it is already included in basic salary. But in chapter 6 you will get deduction under 80 CCH1 full amount. There is no limit here. Whatever was deducted from your salary as employees contribution to what? Agniveer Corpus Fund, you will get entire amount as deduction under chapter 6 under section 80 CCH1. Then your employer will also contribute. So tell me, your employer contributes means it is a benefit for the employee. So first included in the salary, then full amount you can minus in CCH2. First it will be taxable in income from salary, then deduction under section CCH2. What is the difference between CCH1 and CCH2? This is employee's contribution, which is part of basic salary only. But this is employer contribution. This is not part of basic salary. This you have to record separate item in the salary statement. And for this also you will get deduction. Tell me, as compared to this, what is the treatment of provident fund? In RPF, what happens? RPF? If it is employees contribution to RPF, in salary statement you ignore, but for that you get 80C. Remember in lump and TERS, what was lump per P1? P1 was what? See this employees contribution to SPF, RPF. See, I am just comparing this thing with RPF, okay? So in normal job you have usually RPF. So employees contribution, it is allowed as chapter 6A, but that get mixed in the list of ATC. But here it is ATC or separate deduction. Separate deduction means it's a benefit. See, in ATC there are many candidates who can give you 1,50,000 deduction. But here it is getting mixed in the list of ATC or a separate item. Separate item. So it is a good for that army employee. So tell me, if employees contribution to RPF is there, there also there is chapter 6A deduction, but it falls in ATC. Okay, what about employers contribution to RPF? In the statement of salary only you write and minus there only 12%. Employers contribution RPF, forgot? In the salary statement you write in inner column and there itself you minus. But this is there itself you minus or chapter 6A? Chapter 6A. This is not RPF, this is different thing, but kind of provident fund only. So this you will include fully taxable in salary statement. But in chapter 6A, 80 CCH2, and here there is no limit. Full amount. Full amount you can minus, and that too it will not be mixed in that list of C, triple C, CCD1. It will be a separate deduction of full amount. For example, employer was contributing 2 lakhs for you. So first include 2 lakhs in your salary, then minus full 2 lakhs. So it is included also, don't forget, and then deducted. Then see this corpus fund, this is accumulated only during 4 years. After 4 years is Agniveer scheme gets over. So after 4 years what will happen? Whatever amount is accumulated, it will be given to that person. That is also fully exempt under section 1012C. Actually see, this is all part of salary only. But in salary, we have not seen any employee who is employed under Agniveer scheme. But they will not put such question. By the way, this is a latest amendment. This has come in budget 23 only. What I am teaching you is budget 23. After that, budget 24 has also come. But that is for students appearing in May 25. But you will pass in November 24. So the budget taught to you is budget 2023. And in budget 2023, this was a new point announced. Okay. Yes. What? Okay. November or September as the case may be. Okay. But see, for September, we have to still wait for the clarification because they have a condition to become eligible for exam. There has to be 8 months study period. Okay. And here also there are some direct entry students, some are after foundation, and I had inquired in the institute. They said they will take 2 months to finally publish the notification. I had talked to some concerned person in ICAI. So let's assume it is in September only, accordingly we study. Okay. But whatever, whether September, November, your budget, applicable budget is what? Budget 23, and in budget 23, this was a new announcement. So tell me this 4 effects. Salary received by him, taxable. This salary he will receive for continuous 4 years. Huh? And for your extra knowledge, I told you how much salary he gets. Every man 30,000. See, you can advise someone. See, if you come across some of your friend, he says, I don't want to do CA and all. There is lot to study. Or I don't want to do this IIT, engineering. Then you can advise him, join Agniveer scheme. But this is also not easily available. You have to pass an entrance exam where you should have good knowledge of maths, etc. But after 12th, you can appear in entrance exam of Agniveer scheme. Means you can advise some of your relative. And what is the advantage? If he selected 4 years Indian Army. And there is no risk also that you will have to fight the war and all. And in 4 years, you are getting good salary. After 12th standard, if a person gets 30,000 per month, it is a good amount for him. Plus, he is getting good training also 4 years. And for him, some money is also accumulated. After 4 years, he can encash. And after 4 years, his biodata, his CV, his resume will be decorated with 4 years experience of Indian Army. And then he can get a good job also. I mean, this is an alternative to student not wanting to do CA, etc. Anyways, you are entered into CA. Okay, so tell me if this is taxable, tell me fast. What about employees' contribution? Only deduction under 80 CCH1. Or will it be mixed in a list or separate? Separate. And employer's contribution, up also, down also, up also, down. Because the employer is contributing, so it is a benefit. So first include in salary. And full amount you will minus. Full amount. Like employer contribution to NPS. In the previous section, what was there? Employer contribution to NPS. This is also up also, down also, up also, down also. But up you include full amount. But at the deduction level, you have to take up to a limit. But here it is not like that. In Agniveer scheme, include full amount in salary, deduct full amount, there is no limit. And lump sum amount encashed at the end of 4 years, fully exempt under section 1012C. Finally, how many sections we have done? Investment related sections we have done. See, even the last one was investment related only. See, when you set aside the money in Agnivir Corpus Fund, it is an investment which you can use after 4 years. So tell me the name of all sections. ATC, name and the amount. Okay, name and the amount. ATC lump and TERS, amount 1,50,000. AT-CCC, pension scheme of LIC and other insurance company, amount 1,50,000. AT-CCD1, pension scheme of central government, which is called NPS, amount, if salaried, 10% of basic plus DA in terms, otherwise 20% of gross total income. And these three sections are to be solved separately or together? Together. How? Prepare one big list of all together, and the total of the list compare is 1,50,000, whichever is less. Then AT-CCD 1B, pension scheme of government, NPS only, your own investment, but additional 50,000. But if you have taken 50,000 here you will take only balance. Don't forget that. Huh? Then AT-CCD 2, employer's contribution to NPS. First it is included in salary, then minus how much? Government employee 14% of basic plus DA in terms. Non-government employee 10% of basic plus DA in terms. Then CCH1, employees contribution to Agnivir Corpus Fund, full amount allowed. But in salary statement ignore, because it automatically comes in basic. This is employer contribution to Agnivir Corpus Fund. It will come in salary also and it will come in deduction also. Full amount in salary, full amount in deduction. No limit over here. Okay. So these were the C's. So one patch we have done, investment rated, chapter 6. Okay. We'll continue next lecture. There is no homework. Let me just check for this. By chance, if there is some homework. Not possible to give any homework. So revise and come, please revise and come, please come on time. Okay. Revise retrospectively from income from other source, salary, chapter 6, everything.